Welcome back to another episode of 3D Pen Creations with here at the Heathocracy. My name is Heath, and I'll be your entertainment for the evening. Last time I made a air elemental, you guys did a pretty good job commenting on it and telling me what you thought of it. Some people were positive, some people weren't so positive, and that's okay because it wasn't really all that great. This time around I'm making an earth elemental, and I didn't like the one that was in the manual, so I decided to make up my own kind of version of one. So I'm making feet right now, and as you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing. These little feet ideas I had just didn't really come together at first until I kind of got a little smarter and made sections and then put them together. Basically, I wanted to make an earth elemental that looked like a stack of rocks that just came to life and was moving towards the players, and I really liked that. As you see here, I finally got a little smart, made two sections and started putting them together rather than trying to build up from the ground up, because you can do that with a 3D pen, but I really can't do it just yet. Past that, I'm going to start making the torso here, and you can see me filling that out here in a moment. Now I'm using this white PLA that I got from a friend of mine. I'm using that for the entire base of this structure because it's easy, it's moldable, it's easy to work with, it's malleable, and as you can see me there, I'm stacking up the pieces, and that's what it's going to look like towards when it's done, making the arms here. Like I said, this white PLA is a lot easier to work with as far as the frame goes. I don't have any other colors of PLA just yet. The rest of this is made with ABS plastic. But I'd really like to get some more PLA because it's a lot easier to work with. Now I've got this the gray ABS plastic. What I'm doing is I'm filling out the wireframes that I made to make them look flushed out. And I'm not taking as much time to make sure the details are flattened. And you'll see why here in a little bit. I've got a new tool to help me out with that. So I'm just filling it in for the time being, just to make sure that the color is there and present. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should make next, please take a minute to go down and put this into the comments or reply to the Reddit post. Thanks. I'm finishing it up this piece here and move on to the torso. Get it all flushed out with that gray filament. I had a little head design on top of this thing that ended up coming off a little later on, so just ignore the little weird head shape thing that didn't end up staying. More than one time during the making of this mini, I actually kind of burned myself a little bit with the got a little braver keeping my fingers closer to the melted plastic. Alright, there you see the new head design that I put onto it. It made it look like it was a piece of rock jutting out the top of this. Like I said, I'm filling that in the same way. You can see there the little lines and cracks and stuff that don't look like they're supposed to be there. That's going to get flushed out, smoothed out here in a little bit with my new wood burning tool that I got in order to help me do these. So you can see me there, I'm kind of heating up and pushing in on certain sections of it so I can get the little eyes and mouth sections that I can use later. Here I am attaching the arm. These arms were a little harder to deal with. I should have flushed out this first one on the table rather than attaching it and then trying to flush it out. You'll see in a second I do that with the second arm. I go ahead and flush it out on the table and then attach it, and it's a whole lot easier. I got a chance to make little thumbs and fingers on this one, which I thought looked pretty cool, rather than just a generic hand. There we are with the second arm. Again, I'm going to use that technique where I burn a hole in the torso and make a little tiny extension on the arm and melt it into place using that. Seems to be a pretty effective way of doing things. I mean, at least it works for me. Alright, just about done with all the different pieces, and now I'm going to be able to assemble them, and it's going to look pretty cool when it's done. Now, I've got my wood burning tool, which I purchased at Harbor Freight. It's not very expensive. I think it was about $8 or $9. And I'm actually using it to melt and smooth out the plastic that I was using, that I used on that gray plastic on the outside. And as you can see, it's smoothing away the lines and actually turning into a smooth, almost glossy surface, which I think makes it look a lot more like, you know, a rock rather than just a lot of different strands of gray filament. So I was able to do that over the whole thing, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It did take a little bit of time, and again, I did burn myself a couple times, but you know, that's just part of what it is. I'm also able to use it to open up the little mouth and eye sections that I put on there. When I got to the arms, it was a little harder. I had to get into the crevices a little bit, but I was able to make the fingers and hands look a little cool. And as you can see, it's also, and this is kind of an unintentional thing, it's also adding a little bit of like a brownish singe to the creature, which I actually think makes it look more rock-like versus just being that standard flat gray. See, there I am adding the little finger details and stuff. This is a pretty good little invested tool that works out really well. Okay, so now I'm going to start assembling it using the clear filament to just kind of tack the leg pieces together. Make sure they're not going to come back apart. And then I actually do the same thing here to put the body on the legs. I gotta say, I think he's looking pretty cool so far. Adding a little layer of clear onto the base, and then tacking him onto the base. He didn't line up just perfectly. I had to fill in some of the gaps with a little extra filament in certain areas. But again, I think it was all worth it because he's looking pretty great. Took some leftover gray because I didn't have a whole lot left, filled in some of the little holes. And here in a minute, I'm going to pull out the green, and you'll see what I'm going to do. I actually took the green and I added little details to make it look like grass or moss was growing on him. Because, you know, he's made out of rocks, and he's been sitting there for a long time. And these guys just kind of pop up out of the ground, and, you know, they're going to have plants growing off of them. Alright, last but not least, I put that black in there. I'm able to use it to fill out the eyes and the mouth. You're going to get a shot of it here in a second. That is what the finished product looks like. I think it looks phenomenal. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see some more of them. That lets me know that, hey, I'm doing a halfway decent job. If you want to stick around, I mean, I'm going to be posting more of these videos, and I'm going to continue learning and getting better, hopefully, over time. If you have any suggestions or tips, put them down in the comments below, or you can reply to the Reddit post. And please, guys, I'm looking for all kinds of criticism. Even if it's negative, go ahead and put it down in there and let me know that I'm horrible, or let me know that I'm a pretty cool guy. Well, that's all I got for you guys, so you guys keep being awesome, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, and God bless.